it's Erika. Welcome to part 2 of my first listen for TXT's The Start Chapter Sanctuary. Part 1 included, if my phone would unlock, Jesus man, it's cause like, it's a new phone, and like, I haven't done as much, like, I feel like Face ID with this, like it seems a little bit more specific on like the 16 Pro than it did on my 12. You know what I mean? Like I could be wearing anything and it would unlock. And this one, it's just like you're not holding it low enough because it has you do it from like lower, and I'm like, why? Anyways, enough about that. Part 1 broken up into parts. YouTube doesn't like it if I do more than like four first listen, and I wanted to do 5 because there are 6 tracks total minus the title track. So part 1 included Heaven, Danger, and Resist. I'm in love. TXT is doing it to me again. Like, ooh, they're doing it to me again. And this one is going to be 41 weeks and Higher Than Heaven. Even though I did check out the before one's video for 41 weeks, I want to digest it a little bit more in like a first listen way. So that's what we're doing here. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. I do color code videos for this one, just because I find it to be the best solution for you and me to follow along together in real time. But I do not make these, so do not kill the messenger. But I am so excited to sort of finish out this album. We already heard 41 weeks. Again, I did the performance video reaction, but I want to deep dive a little more into it. So that's what we're doing. And then Higher Than Heaven. Woo! They're taking me to heaven, girl, with these tracks. I'm loving it. I'm literally loving the vibe of it. It's very much more kind of like R&B, older TXT vibes, but also kind of like Danger. She has like a little bit of like a Michael Jackson vibe to it, especially vocally. And then Resist, girl, she got a Spanish guitar. She's giving me everything in life. But I overall like the vibe of it. It's not like, it doesn't seem like there's not as much kind of like dark concept here with this one. It is called Sanctuary as like an album, so it's supposed to be like a safe place, you know what I mean? But I'm just like, but it could just all be a cover up, because TXT very much does these concepts to where it could be like happy feeling, like sounding and everything like this, but then they throw a line and you're just like, hold up, or like visually the concept can be a little bit more sinister, a little bit more dark. So I don't know if that's what we're getting. I didn't necessarily get the vibe from like the visuals that they gave us for Over the Moon, both versions of the music videos. But here we are. Let's go and dive into 41 weeks. 41 weeks. Again, we've heard her before, but she deserves another listen on camera. So yes, you know what? Let go. See, they got you thinking it's gonna be a rock one, and then they hit you with the R&B. Ah! See, because my thing is, what if they're like a Pied Piper type of thing, or they're just like trying to seduce me, tempt me by pretending to be very heaven-like, angel-like, and then the next comeback we find out it was all a lie. See, and then they had another track that was Morse code. Or maybe it's like Sanctuary, that feeling of like heaven. You know what I mean? That's sort of not necessarily like a safe place, but like feeling like you're kind of in heaven. You know what I mean? That makes sense, because all the songs are really feel good. And also, biggest takeaway, sweet baby angel vocals. Then we know Dem Droids killed the production on this one. I would still love to see them do the stage or the choreography in like suits. That's what I'm getting here. I'm like, I want to see TXT perform in suits. Just very kind of classy but kind of mature, because it is like, everything's kind of like, it leans for like a little bit of like sexy concepts, especially within the B-sides. So I wonder if it's like, it's called Sanctuary, right? So again, it's supposed to be like safe place, safe feeling. But again, it's kind of like a lot of the concepts I feel like for the tracks are kind of just like feeling like you're in heaven, like this blissful sort of state. But that's different than feeling like safe in a sanctuary type of thing. So again, that's why I feel like they're playing me. That's why I feel like they're playing me concept-wise, unless it's sort of just like what they're sort of going for, just overall and stuff, because maybe it should have been called, well, I don't think it should have been called Heaven. There's already 2 tracks with Heaven in the title. So like it's very interesting, I think, when you look at the overall concept for everything. But I love this one. It kind of does lean into just like the R&B vibe. Again, if you do like this, I mentioned it in my performance video reaction, you gotta check out EXO's B-sides, specifically the ones produced by Dem Joints, because they like, Dem Joints is like some of EXO's like best, most recent, I feel like, ones, specifically like Ya Ya Ya, and yeah, just anything off the last album or like the Temple album's really good to check out too. So I mean the one with oh gosh, what's the one, EXO one, like it has very much like an EXO like kind of like R&B sort of vibe, because again, Dem Joints does produce a lot for EXO, so it definitely makes sense. Obsession as well, why it may sort of have that vibe. We also know that Hype is obsessed with EXO, but who is it? Who wouldn't be? You know what I mean? Guilty party here of one, but one of many. But I really like it. I think it's great. I think it really fits the vibe of the album too as well. Kind of everything being just this sort of like kind of feel good, blissful type of sound. You know what I mean? And Danger does have like a more Michael Jackson sort of vibe. So this one I feel like does lean more for like I don't know, TXT R&B type of vibe. But I really like it though. I think she's great and I'm loving that album. So yeah, it definitely kind of leaves me in just like this very kind of trancy, blissful sort of thing. Which, yeah, so now the next track we're going to be checking out is Higher Than Heaven. I mean, they already took us to heaven before with the first track, and every song kind of feels like, again, like you're transported in this like kind of like blissful, heavenly sort of trance sort of thing, but not necessarily in like a religious space meaning of it, but more just like you feel lifted, you feel higher, you feel transported to like a better, higher, blissful sort of state, you know what I mean? And maybe that's where they find Sanctuary, or maybe that's just like what brings the fans Sanctuary. It brings me stresses and emotional distress, but anyways, we're gonna be checking out the last track, Higher Than Heaven. I'm loving this album, and I think it is like, I'm having like a deeper, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of hitting me a little deeper in my soul, this whole comeback and all these B-sides, because I'm like, oh, it's kind of like throwing it back for me, what I feel like is just like older TXT music and kind of like older TXT sounds. Just like so far with what just kind of like the album has been giving us. So I'm just like, oh no, it hits kind of different, you know what I mean? But look, we're not done yet, so let's get Higher Than Heaven. Oh. They cannot not do a rock track. Kind of like more pop rock and a little more punky. Sweet baby angel vocals. But it's definitely like the type of TXT rock track that's like much more crafted. Damn. To kind of fit within the sound and much more the concepts that they're showing with the other B-sides. There's definitely a lot more poppier than their other stuff. But again, the sound and the concept much more fitting for the album overall, which I love. It's almost like 2000s Disney Channel rock. Specific, I know, but if you lived it, you know what I mean. Yeah, kind of just like what the chorus is saying. That's what I feel like all the B-sides are giving. Yeah, that was very interesting, right? Because I feel like it's so different sounding because a lot of their rock tracks, because rock is rooted in alternative culture and, well, yes, it is. But like, I think generally like more rock concepts are more highly associated with being more emo, being more emotional, being more sad, being more angry, just in general. Because that's just kind of like what the genre mainly is. Just in general, but also kind of like, I think that's why they went for such a much more kind of poppier, almost, I said like Disney Channel sort of vibe to it, because then if you kind of have the songs, the whole concepts about being and like transported in like a dream, heaven, bliss like state, and that being kind of sanctuary like, I guess I see it now. I then like their rock song for this mini album reflects that, you know what I mean? So I like that. I feel like it's very clever because, I mean, but then again, you can also, they also could have done their other sound, which has leaned harder and stuff, and kind of just like been very clever about it lyrically, but they kind of went with just like the sound being much more appropriate for the album, which I get it, girl, especially because their rock songs do lean more emo, not just talking about the title tracks, but their previous B-sides as well, or like kind of just like, you know, that sort of thing with TXT. So, but it definitely makes sense. The math is mathing here for Higher Than Heaven and stuff. I'm not gonna like, it's probably not my biggest like cup of tea. So it may be like the song on the album I listen to the least, just because I like the vocals here, amazing, Sweet Baby Angel vocals, but like for the sound and stuff, it's not what I typically listen to, especially in terms of just like the more rock thing. Like I like the emo stuff, but that's not what the album is. So it definitely makes sense, and I do like how they like are still including rock within their discography. Ever since they did it for their title tracks, it's been very present within their B-sides, and I love that. That's just definitely the thing, especially when their last Lollapalooza stage was such more crafted around that sort of rock thing, and I think they really kill it on a stage, and it's really great for them, just for like an overall concept and like stage work, you know what I mean, and performance based. I think it just really works for them, so having that included definitely makes sense on the album. But I lean a lot more heavier towards the other 4 tracks and the title track, just because, I don't know, for me that's what's definitely hitting here. I like the more kind of, again, it's definitely being in this like transported to this like dream, heaven like, bliss like sort of state that I feel like all the songs give up, and I really like that. And that kind of just like, I feel like it's very interesting, right? Because I don't know if maybe the album should have been called Sanctuary because of that, but I don't know what I would have called the album either, because they've had the dream concepts before, so it can't really be the dream concepts. But then I don't know if heaven is an appropriate sort of title for the album, but then they kind of make that like the very much like kind of like the sanctuary place. So yeah, and maybe it's just like my association with the word sanctuary is slightly different than the more, because I think like being like, oh, it's like your safe place, or it's like an animal sanctuary, an area where the animals can be kind of like safe and well taken care of, you know what I mean? So like, but they're kind of taking the sanctuary as much more of just like that sort of feeling of it, you know what I mean? I'm just like, you know what I mean? So maybe that's like me personally, but again, I don't know what I would call the album besides that. But I really love it. I think everything's great. Resist, of course she's gonna be my favorite. I'm brown, hello. But yeah, but I really love it. I love the more R&B kind of like take of the overall album, and the more kind of like feel goodness that's coming through. Everything kind of does lean to a bit more like a sexier concept too as well, which I really like that. And I would just love to see so many like I want to see stages for Resist and Danger, and I want them to be in like, and also 41 Wings with them in like suits. Like I want like a clean suit kind of look for them and doing these like performance stages. I don't know. I have a vision. I have a vision. Is my vision going to be executed? No, because they don't pay me to make decisions like that. But I have a vision that I would love to see them sort of do. I can say what I want them to do. That's not wrong. The whole video is opinion, okay? But I really loved it. I think the album so far is really great. For me, it does hit different because I feel like a lot of like the other B-sides kind of like feel a little bit more rooted in like older TXT sounds that I really, really love. And I'm just like, oh no, those are like what kind of made me fall in love with TXT when they did these certain eras that kind of like maybe more like Blue Hour, like older B-sides for them. So like, I don't know, for me, I'm like, oh, it kind of hits different because there's like an era of nostalgia here. But I think the album is fantastic. It's really, really good. But yeah, and again, I said it before in the last part, I'm like, there's always this kind of like layer of like sinisterness or kind of darkness that happens with TXT. So kind of like the album, the B-sides kind of not leaning into that. I'm like, I'm sus, I'm suspicious. I'm like, are you gonna like flip it around and sort of the next concept to have everything be a lie TXT? It'd be very TXT to do, but it's a new era. Maybe they're going for something new with their concepts, and maybe that ain't even the thing. But it's all prep work for me to not be disappointed later, or not necessarily like disappointed, but like we've been around the block for a minute, so we know how they do, you know what I mean? But like so far, that's definitely not the vibe that I'm getting. But I'm cautious. We are being cautious here. But I loved it. Every single B-side's really good. Again, Higher Than Heaven. I may not listen to her as much as just like the other ones, but I still think she's a good song. She definitely makes sense for the album. The math is mathing there. So yeah, I overall enjoyed it. TXT killed it once again. Go and put your thoughts and comments down below what you thought about TXT's The Star Chapter Sanctuary. Your thoughts and comments down below. If you like this video, give this video a thumbs up. If you liked me and you want to see more of my videos, go and hit that subscribe button. If you want to see my videos the second they come out, hit that notification button. Want to follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, or in the description down below, or at the end screen. If you like gaming content, I have a gaming channel. It's called Erika. Currently playing Horizon Forbidden West, so if you can join me over there for that. Thank you so much for watching. Love you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
영원했다 때지 영원했다 때지 fire 지금 땅 위를 박자 baby 땅 위를 박자 baby